Alright, I should be live. Let us find out if I am. I'm live. Alright. Perfect. So, I'm going to mute the volume on this. Alright, welcome back everybody. For those of you who turned up last night. That's the word I'm looking for. We're back with another stream. I didn't really know how much I was gonna like streaming because last night was my first one. Ooh, I hope I didn't just screw that up. Okay, good. But turns out I really like streaming. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun last night. So hopefully I'll have as much fun this night. I kind of screwed up my recording settings, and I don't think I'm able to get the to archive the last stream. But I put that up on YouTube today because I was recording along with OBS. So if you want to catch up on last night's stream at some point, that's on my YouTube channel, The John Machine, where I post most of my art. But if you're here, you probably know that anyways. So let's jump right into it. So, a couple things off the bat. I actually decided I ended up liking these pants on him. But one thing that I think is a little weird, a little wonky looking, is this hand. This hand looks a little weird, so let's change that. There we go, we're live. Oh, am I still live? Yeah, I'm streaming. Okay, my phone's just being dumb. Okay, there we go. So, anyways, his hand looks weird, so we're gonna mess with it. I'm drawing a hand that is holding something is always kind of difficult, but you know, figure it out. Using it, I'm actually gonna go to a size 2 brush. Is that good? Is that a good size? Turn off the eraser. Yeah, it's a good size. Maybe. 3. 3 works. So I hope you guys had a good 4th. That was yesterday. That's when we did the other stream. I didn't really end up doing much, but I went out for dinner tonight. So I've found out that I really like postponing like holiday celebrations a day, because if you go after everybody's gone, then it's dead, and it's kind of worth the wait. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hope you guys had a good 4th. You'll have to tell me about it if anyone's tuning in. But yet again, I do not see my chat. All right. Well, I'm gonna go let that cat out because it's going to there goes that. It's going to destroy everything. Yes, as you can probably tell by last night's stream and tonight's stream, my pets own me. It's not, I don't own them. It's kind of backwards. So yeah, it's midnight, so it's the 6th actually. Technically, it's good. Good. My sleep schedule is thoroughly screwed up. By what? I don't know. I don't really have anything going on in my life to screw my sleep cycle up, but I guess it is. So I talked last night about how I really wanted, with this like series of drawings, to be very detailed in the way that I draw the items that these characters are going to be holding. With the wands, with the brooms in this case, books, with clothes, I really want to personify how I see the world. So yeah. That looks good. Does that look good from a distance? Not really. I'm designing these wands actually after... Oh, I don't know who does the art actually. There was a run of Harry Potter books that the... Well, it's the same run, but every once in a while they'll make like a new version with different cover art. And the one that came out in like 2015, maybe? I don't know. It was some anniversary, so it must have been 2000 and no, not 17. That's too old. Actually, no. I guess it must have been 2017. So there's a... I'll figure it when it's out. But there was a line of Harry Potter books that came out then that had like special like anniversary drawings, and it was just for the American releases. I think each country had different art, but for the American ones in particular, don't know who the artist is. I'm gonna figure it out eventually, but really, really good vision of the world. Their vision really is very similar to what mine is, and their wands, the wands that he draws, are very not like the movies. The movies, at least in the first few, the wands are very finished, very like polished looking. And as you go on in the series, the designs of the wands actually change, but these are I'm kind of designing these after this artist's ones, which are a little more like crooked. Is a good word. Like you can see like little branches poking out of them, little like little nubs. They just look more natural, and I like that for a lot of the wands. Yeah, I think I like that. That looks good. Okay. Like the one, I don't know if I like the hand. Look at my own hand. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't hold it that way. I guess I would hold it out further. So I'm gonna erase this all again. It takes, might be a pain in the ass to sit through and watch, but you know, that's drawing for you. Just kind of gotta. If it doesn't look good, redo it. It's gonna suck for the time being, but eventually you're gonna find a design that you like, and it's gonna be way better for your art. You gotta, you know, if you got a vision for what your art's gonna be, which you should, follow that vision. Don't let laziness creep in on you, because it will. If you've been drawn for like a long stretch of time, I've only been going for like 5 minutes, so I kind of have the willpower to do this, but I wouldn't usually. But yeah, if you draw for long stints of time, take some time off. Take a day off from a piece even. It might suck at the moment because you just want to get it done, but you know, it happens. happens. That should be a little better. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, my lines aren't lining up. There we go. Alright, I'm actually quite pleased with this hand. Hands are a pain in the ass. They always are, always will be, really, no matter who you are as an artist. Hands suck. You just kind of gotta read through them. I actually made a long time ago. So if you guys watch my YouTube, which again, if you're here, you probably do, but if not, it's the same title. It's the Jaw Machine on YouTube. You're probably familiar with DIY Prop Culture Builds, which is the biggest series on my channel. It's where I build the props. Way before I did that, and I just made props for fun, I did a thing that I might want to introduce to the series at some point, where I just kind of built props how I saw them in my head for fun, like as if in the way that I imagined them when I read the books, like as if I were to make, you know, the movie. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Make them. I made props how I would make them if I was like props director for the movie. That's a better way of saying it. And I'm designing this one after that one, which was inspired by the art from that one guy. A little more spindly, a little more has branchy bits that stick out at weird angles. But I think it looks cool. It looks right. Put a fingernail in there. Get some. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. All right. That is a hand right there. So it looked good zoomed out. Yeah, it does. But if I flip it, it's gonna probably suck. Oh, autosave. Yep. Thank you for kicking me out of what I was doing. Mirror horizontally. Yeah, looks. That could look a little better. Let's do this. Let's rotate it a little bit and make it a little bigger. Alright, that should look alright. Does that look okay? Yeah, it looks fine. Okay. That looks pretty good. Do I want to go to line art? I think I might want to go to line art at this point. Let's check out the state of the stream for a moment. Alright, that's doing good. Yeah, let's go to line art. I separated the stream semi-purposefully. I mean, it's kind of hard to plan out a stream because you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't know how an art piece is going to go. But I divided them up a little bit, so opacity 25 looks good. 20. Divided them up semi-purposefully to reflect the stages of art that I do. Sketching, the line art, and I'll probably do line art and some shading and coloring, maybe like basic colors today. I hope to get to that, and then the final stream will do a lot of finishing bits, finishing touches. But yeah, I'm actually really excited about how this is gonna turn out. Very, very happy about it. So let's get that brush. We're gonna go 2, and before I forget, we're actually going to change our color. I'm gonna go with a more reddish orange. Yeah, dark red. Yeah, how is? Shoot, wrong brush. How about this? Oh, wrong layer. I need to start a new layer before I do this. Yeah, there we go. That looks like a good shade. Wait, what makes... I'm not gonna mess with that, actually. I'm not gonna mess with the color. What makes some art really pop, what makes it look more semi-realistic, which is what I'm going for, is changing the color for your line art. So that means, let me do this for a second. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna rotate back. So you're gonna want to mirror your, not mirror, what am I even talking about? You want to change what colors you're working with for your line art. That'll do a couple things for you. It'll make the line art pop. It makes it look a little better. It makes the piece look a little more realized, because you're using, if you do it right, a color that's kind of like, not the mid-tone color, but like an average color for your whole piece. That'll help you out in shading later, because you might not shade with this specific tone, but probably shade with a similar tone, because you don't want to shade in black. That just makes it look real messy. Oh, gross. I might change the shade of that eye. I might go to green, because he has green eyes. For those of you just turning in or tuning in, or those of you who didn't even catch my last stream and probably are very lost with what I'm doing, I am drawing Harry Potter, but maybe not the Harry Potter that you know and love. I am drawing him based on his book description. But not solely on his book description. I might veer off in certain aspects of the character to show how I specifically imagine him. Because I have a very... my view of the Harry Potter world is very different to what's shown in the movies. I already have a series that's doing this for a couple of... That looks good. That looks really good. I already have a series that's doing this for a couple of universes. One of them is the Lord of the Rings universe. I've done Bilbo, Thorin, Gandalf, you know, all those guys. Haven't finished all of them. I still have a few more to do before the end of the summer. I might do a little more than I planned. I was thinking about a few more characters today that I have an idea for, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. That looks probably terrible. It doesn't look that bad. It looks a little rough though. Again, hair's kind of a tough thing. That's something you just gotta follow it with your brush. You gotta figure out what it's looking like, because if you don't, if you don't treat the hair that you're drawing with the right attention that it deserves, it's not going to treat you right in your final piece. If you skimp on something, something will skimp on you. You got to draw. That's one thing that people just kind of, when most people draw who don't know how to draw, they sit down and are just like, all right, I want to draw this, but you got to draw every aspect of what you're doing, which obviously sounds like duh, John, what are you talking about? Of course you have to do that, but you don't really. I talked about it last night, having a visual library in your head almost. I think I called it an index for some reason. But I used the example as a bike because that's really good. A lot of people have tried to draw bikes, and what a bike looks like in your head, because you don't really need a super large amount of detail when you're just imagining something. You're like, all right, I know what a bike looks like. I can draw a bike. But then you sit down to draw the bike and you draw all the moving parts, and it's like, whoa, I don't know what a bike looks like. Obviously you do, but you don't have the details down, and that's when reference comes in. Should check on my chat. I don't even know if yeah. Alright, so my chat is live. I completely zoned out on what I was talking about. I was talking about reference, I think. But yeah, if you gotta, know how to draw everything, you can't skimp out on certain parts. A lot of people, for example, can't draw hands. Hands suck, but you gotta draw them if you're gonna draw people, and you gotta draw faces, and you gotta draw a bunch of different things, and if you skimp out on one of them or all of them, it's gonna affect how your piece looks in the end. So another thing you're gonna want to do with your line art, and this isn't super important, because especially if you're going for semi-realistic, a lot of it's going to be covered up in the end. But you're going to want to color a little bit. Not color it with the hues you're going to use, but color in the shaded areas, because it's gonna help you later. If anything else, it's going to do that. It's going to show you where shaded parts are in your piece, which helps. It's kind of an assist to your future self. You always want to help your future self. If you don't do that, you're kind of screwed. I'm thinking of adding music to this, some lo-fi stuff, some chill out music, because that's kind of what I want these streams to be, some wind down time. And I of course got to do these at a more regular time, or else I'm not gonna get anyone in there. Oh, that looks nice, I think. And I of course got to do the glasses, but that can wait. Yeah, but I think I want to add some chill out music to these streams. I think it's gonna make it a little more pleasant. Let's go back there. Okay. Just drawing these glasses. Go around here. Come up. And go back around. And I'm actually gonna do a slick little move and erase some stuff I've already done to show like the glare on the glasses. And I'm not gonna do it a super large amount. And I'm actually gonna shade in some more. I just gotta get a real thin thing to make it look good. But yeah, I think I like that. It's gonna pop later when it you know, it doesn't gotta be perfect now. It'll pop later when we. Oh, that's my problem. I'm back on 3 for some reason. I should be on 2. There we go. It'll hopefully pop later when we do. Those are 2 different sizes. When we do the highlights, because you can straight up just go in with white. It's not great. I might try to cheat a little bit. Whoa! Didn't mean to do that. Oops. Wow, that's... Huh. Neat. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So that looks nice, I think. So hopefully I did it right, and when I started the stream, because yesterday my problem was I didn't turn on save stream. Before I started, I had to look up a tutorial, and yeah, I mean, there's gonna obviously be some screw ups. I'm new to streaming, you know, same as everything you're new to in life, but I don't know, I'm sitting here, I'm kind of talking on my butt. Gotta have something good to say. Oh, autosave again, kick me out. Thank you. There's probably a way to fix that, but there we go. And a lot of these lines that you draw on your line art, you know, they're more permanent than your sketch, so be a little mindful of where you put them. But they're think of them like guidelines, very, very precisely placed guidelines. I mean, obviously it depends on your style, what you're doing, but but it's gonna help you out later. Again, when you're drawing, and well, when you're doing anything in life, but really when you're drawing, help your future self. If you rush through something, if you don't do it, you know, as intentfully as you should, then it's not gonna turn out great. So I don't plan to stream all the time. I streamed tonight and last night, and I'm not gonna stream for at least 2 weeks after this week because I'm going on a trip, vacation. But I'm gonna probably stream once a month at least, if not more. I'm just gonna look up some reference from one of my favorite artists, actually. Where is he? Oh, right there. Don't know how to pronounce his name, but very, very good fantasy art. Evan Mehel Amundsen. I don't know, really, really at the name. I think he's from. Where is he from? Norway. One of the Norse places, I think. Probably just got that wrong. Looking at how he does these. Yeah, okay. I've always had trouble with these, like, bindings here. They're a bit of a... of a tough thing. Yeah, so Evan Amundsen, I think his name is, probably one of my biggest art inspirations. Really good art. He's one of those artists that you might try to replicate, but you know you'll never get to where they are. He's just so good. Very, very professional guy. I've seen with his art. I watched some of his live streams, and they're very, very good. Good. All right. I'm liking how that's looking. Pew, pew. He's a very painterly style, if that makes sense. And I've been studying his stuff for ages now, and obviously, when you're an artist, don't study one person's art, because someone's, and this goes into art teachers as well, that what I said last night about people, it's hard to teach art, so I've never learned anything from an art teacher, because that's tough to do, because a lot of people, when they teach, but I guess also by extension when you learn art, it's really hard to not teach and to not learn processes. Everybody's process for art is a little different. That's why it's so hard to teach. That's why it's so hard to pick up. But when you're learning art, don't look at the process. Look at their techniques. Sounds like a cliche, but Bob Ross, really good guy to watch if you want to paint, because he doesn't really teach his process. He teaches his technique. He tells you how he does what he does with the brushes. I'm not a great physical painter. Don't think I could do what he does, but what he did. But find people that you can seriously pick out their techniques and what they do. In digital art, what brushes they use, and physical art, what types of materials, whether it be brushes, canvases they use, or pens, or types of paper, because that all affects it. Even the digital medium is a lot different than drawn in in real life. It took me a while to pick up digital art. I've been doing it straight out as really one of my only mediums. Not really my only medium. I still do physical art, but I drew with pen and paper for my whole life, and it was a really hard transition to go from that to this. And there's a lot of benefits to digital art. I would recommend getting into it, but it's very different. So just keep that in mind. This wood grain, you're gonna wanna, if you end up drawing wood grain in your pieces, you're gonna wanna know that wood isn't always, the grain, they might look semi-straight, but they're very wiggly grains in wood. Let's see if that looks good. Alright, that looks very nice. Very wiggly, very kind of meandering. Let's see if another fold here might look good. Yeah, but I don't think in that way. But that's another thing, another point towards the reference, the importance towards reference. Is it's a little foolish to at least start to draw without it, because you won't. If you don't really know what you want to draw, like what it looks like, you're not going to draw what you want, So it looks good. I'm actually quite pleased with how the last bit went. Let's do that. I don't know why. I'm gonna go get my phone charger so I can pop on some music for anybody who's watching. Because I think that would be nuts. Not for anything else. Oh, what am I unplugging here? Is this important? No, not important. Apparently. Okay. Copyright chill music. The Lo-Fi Cafe, maybe that. That's an ad, so we're gonna have to sit through that. Sorry about that, guys. would be better. Yeah, maybe this would be nice. Oh, howdy. What's up?
Can people see you?
No.
Okay, good.
I love you. I love you too.
Yeah.
You heading to bed?
Yeah.
Good night. Love you. What?
We should have sex while people listen.
Fuck off. Good night. What are you doing? I love you too.
I was joking. I just thought that would make you embarrassed.
Not really embarrassed. I mean, it's not like I'm ashamed to be like, guys, I have sex sometimes. Yeah, I know. Thank you. You just let the cat in. Let's see, does that look nice? I don't really know what configuration I want to do with my phone and the. That's on 79%. I can put it right under the speaker. Let's see if that's doing bad things for the speaker. I can turn it down a little bit. Alright, that should be nice. I'll figure out a good volume eventually. So this is one thing about drawing that's kind of a pain. It's just and this is one thing that you definitely don't get in speed arts and watching speed arts, which I love to do, but they're not really great. Well, they can be great. They can be good, but again, it shows people's process more than their technique. But one thing you don't get is the patience that you gotta have for this stuff. For drawing in every minute thing. Oh my, just save the picture. Oh, I gotta figure out how to fix that with Portal. Keeps kicking me out while I'm doing it. I'm drawing. Finished out a second. Thank you. So this is one kind of neat thing. You see the conflict here between this fold and this strap. You gotta, especially with clothing, figure out how stuff interacts. Bert. Yes, the cat's name is Bert. It's not really Bert. His name is Chloe. I call her Bert. This is one thing you're gonna figure that's gonna happen way later. Probably not even in the stream, but with this fold particularly, let's start with this. You're gonna want to be mindful of where you put your folds so they look real in these clothes. So let's put them there. one, you're not going to want to just do folds willy-nilly. You're going to want to make sure they actually look appropriate for what you're drawing. And you're also going to make sure that when you're shading later, it's going to be along... that the folds are not going to conflict with how you plan to shade, if that makes sense. I can see. I'm actually gonna mess with something. Okay. There we go. So I can now have this up in the corner, maybe? Okay. Good, good, good. Sorry about that. Just doing some more stream stuff. Oh, I gotta remember to turn that back on. There we go. So yeah, I'm quite excited to do future streams, because I have, in the realm of Harry Potter, a couple more character designs that I want to do, and just beyond that, I have stuff planned, honestly, until well into next year. It's not like super, like, solid planned out. Like, stuff changes around all the time, but I plan to do certain types of drawings, certain series, and you know, release them at certain points. And I'm going to live stream some of them. I just find that when I'm streaming, I sit down for longer, you know, because it's a little more captivating, having it being like put out there. I hope the music sounds pleasant. Don't really know if it's screwing up the audio, but gotta make sure there's non-copyright. I think it is. Don't think it is actually. Hold on, let me change this. That's definitely copyrighted. That's an ad. Let's keep drawing while the ad's going. There we go. There we go. This is not copyrighted. I feel like I had heard the other thing somewhere. So, I'm not going to take any chances. I mean, not that I'm monetizing anything right now. I'm not nearly well known enough for that. But I'd like to be, you know? Gotta find a better setup. Let's see if... Ooh. Stream manager, that's what I'm looking for. Ah! I am able to have my chat up here. Alright, I'll figure that out at some point. So I think, let's actually see how far I am into this, just to pace out my stream. And I went, alright, that's about right. So I think what I'm going to do is for this stream, I'm going to do line art, then do basic colors. Sometimes I shade first. That kind of depends on what I'm feeling. But I don't know. I might just hop right into colors this time. Don't know. That's gonna, yeah, it's gonna put me back up. Yeah, that's fine. I want that end to be a little more straight. There we go. All right. Don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I feel good about it. So, yeah, it looks fine. Could be better. It's probably alright though. lo-fi music. Oh, that's what I went to. There we go. Stream manager. Back. I'm back to where I was. Okay, good. Yeah. What was I saying? Something about... Yeah, lo-fi music. Lo-fi music reminds me of a buddy of mine who actually does Twitch as well. His thing is Tyler Penguin, I believe, is his the name of his Twitch. He did streams a while ago. I think he does a lot of gaming. That guy has a crazy work ethic. He's also a very smart dude. And lo-fi music always reminds me of him. Because back when we went to school together, we would go over each other's houses with our other buds and have a bit of a study sesh. That didn't last, you know, that type of life didn't last as long as I really wanted it to, because after the shutdown I stopped going to school. Although I'm going back, which is nice. I'm ready to go back. But, that always reminds me of him, because he would always put on really like lo-fi music. Erase those. There we go. Does that look good?
Hitting the road this summer? Not all 5G
No,
networks are...
well, I actually am, but go away ads. I need to figure out a better way to do stream music so that ads don't have to be a problem. The cat, the Bert, as I call the cat, is she does this thing. The cat's real name is Chloe. It's a Siamese, but the Bert does this thing where it. She's been doing it more recently, where she'll get really excited and run around the room or run around on the bed and like slide. Really likes it. She thinks it's hilarious. But she just did that if you heard a little. It's very cute. Wish I had a screen cam because the pets walk by constantly. There's so many pets. So many pets. That's good. Quite entertaining in my life. I think it would be probably pretty entertaining on the stream. So I might look into face cam stuff. So. So it good. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. I don't know if that's super accurate to what these types of clothes would look like, but that's alright. One thing that you can definitely do too much of when you're doing clothes is too much line work. Sometimes when you have a fold you like, is you just leave it there. I'm undoing some of this stuff. Too many folds, because clothes don't fold as much as you think. Especially when they're like flowy things. Like they'll fold if they're like, you know, the clothes will fold if they have to, but they don't like. Again, it depends on the fabrics, but a lot of fabrics don't naturally want to fold too super much. And that's, and again, that's kind of a hard thing to replicate right. That's better. That's more what I want to see in this area. But yeah, one other nice thing about streaming and doing it in a couple of separate parts is it gives me enough structured time to think about, you know, what I'm actually drawing. Because when you're drawing, you're thinking about a lot of different things, and drawing in one sitting, if it's not too complicated, it's fine, but for something like this that's very purposeful and very, you know, has a lot of moving parts, you're gonna want to do it in a couple of sittings. And the reason why I like streaming is it kind of forces me to do that. You know, it makes me think, not only am I making content for YouTube, in which it's all going to be sped up and all this time is going to be not wasted, but, you know, your brain tells you stupid stuff like that sometimes. But it makes me, it makes the process very, not streamlined, but controlled, because you're doing it for an audience. And like a lot of things, with art particularly, when you're doing it for an audience, you're doing it, no ads, go away! You're doing it more purposefully. So, today, after I kind of decided I was going to want to stream again, I don't know what kind of ad I was watching. Once I decided I wanted to stream again today, I decided to sit down and look at a bunch of reference, especially for the clothing. And I went back and forth if I wanted to change it. I didn't change a lot. Just a lot of stuff in the little details. I was planning for a little bit to mess with the length of the sleeves, but then I kind of realized it was good. So these scars are kind of difficult. There's a lot to them. So I decided I'm not going to actually put the bit that arcs down over here. I'm going to put that over this side. Because like I said, I imagine the scar to be a lot more, a lot bigger than it was in the film. Like it says lightning bolt scar. I imagine it like a real lightning bolt scar. Like if you look up the term lightning bolt scar, you'll see a lot of Harry Potter stuff, but you'll also see some pretty gnarly real life scars. So yeah. Hey, Chloe. What do you want? What's up? Pet. You can sit with me. No? Don't go in the closet. Come here. Hey, Chloe's upset because you can't find your mom, right? You're sad. You can't go sit with your mom. I know. You stay out here with me. You'll never see a clingier cat than this. Hi, Bert. Stay here with me. Keep us company on our stream. I think the stream will like you. I wish I had a face cam on. She is right in my lap. Like right in front of where I'm doing all my stuff. But god damn is she cute. I'm not sure if the stream can hear it, but she's purring very loud. Very loud. Gotta say, Bert the cat is a much better streaming companion than Bird the bird. I have realized how similar those names are. It's caused much miscommunication in the past. Bert, don't touch that. I'm gonna ask you to get down. Go sleep. Alright, too much. Too much, Bert. You can sit in this chair. Yeah, a cozy chair. So if you're gonna jump back over here, Bert, I swear. Such a clingy cat. She wants to go to bed. She sleeps in the bed with us. And, she wants us both to be there. And then all the bedroom's closed anyway, so she can't get in, so. But, this cat is so clean. Wants everybody to go to bed at the same time, to sleep at the same time. She wants to cuddle up. Usually like right in my back. There we go. That's a good Bert. Can't go to sleep on the bed? She'll plop herself right in my lap. I do gotta say, and this is a kind of tough thing for me in art, because you gotta be patient with certain parts of it. But I am really excited to start coloring this. I'm thinking specifically about the robes. I'm gonna color those. But that's when it starts coming together. That's when it's real nice. No! Ah. Too many freaking ads. Are you about done with those? I should be, I don't know. Gotta go back to YouTube Premium, I guess, if I'm gonna do this. Oh, there we go. I have a viewer. Sorry if I missed you. But yeah, thanks. Need to get a way better setup so that I can read these the chat. Feel bad. I think I might have missed that guy. Oops. Ah! Thank you, Critta, for auto-saving and kicking me out again. There we go. I gotta have to redo that. Oh, I didn't wanna. While redoing things often ends up being quite good for your piece. Bert, you stay still. Don't you mess up my art. Oh, what a precious cat. I'm liking this quite a bit. I'm very pleased with how this is coming. Could do with a few touch-ups. And, well, gotta do the rest of the line out first, but I know exactly where I'm gonna go with this. Alright, let's work on the bottom of this broom. This broom's gonna be, I think, a pain in the ass. But hopefully not. Alright. You done, Bert? Alright, goodbye. She stood right up, decided that she was done, I guess. That's cats, though. I'm gonna zoom into this a little bit more. I plan to narrate my art a little more than I've been doing. I actually planned to narrate the Ben 10 stuff until I started making it and like explain my process. And then I just kind of didn't. I mean, I'm really happy that the videos came out and how the art pieces came out in the end. Well, I'm halfway through them now, but and I might narrate one or two of them before the end, but I'm definitely going to narrate this since there's more of like a, I don't know, I just feel more pressed for it. Explain my thought process as I go along. I don't know, it feels right. That's a little let's see how that looks. That's nice. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Let's do this. Those out of the way. So I just knew that the bottom of the broom would kind of be a pain because brooms are kind of tough to draw. And again, I don't want to go too super detailed with what I'm doing here. But I'm gonna go enough to where I can know the form. Alright, I think that's enough. That's good. Good, good, good. I'm just gonna mess with the hair a little more. Alright, I like this quite a bit. I'm gonna jump right into the coloring, I think. I mean, I might bounce back for a bit and edit some stuff, but I don't know. Feel good about how it's going. So for the coloring, I'm gonna wanna way turn on the opacity on this. I'm gonna wanna put it in, pop in a base layer. Yeah. Maybe a little more. So this is going to help with shading later. It's going to make it a little easier. So this bit's kind of a pain here. Just filling everything in. Oh shit, I do need to do more liner. I haven't even done any of this. So let's pop this out for a sec. Go back to this. There we go. That's something that I, you know, always struggle with a little bit. Ooh, wrong one. That's better. I want to get this as well. This wand. There we go. Thanks, man. I'm sorry for borderline ignoring the chat, but yeah, I really appreciate it. It's kind of not difficult to think out loud, but distracting's not the right word either. It's not a negative thing, I don't think. It kind of helps me pace out when I draw. But yeah, the arm wraps are, I don't really know what when I came up with them. I just for some reason saw it like that when I read the book. I don't know, I just think it's a little sportier is not the right word. Not at all. A little more fantasy. Like I can imagine them throwing themselves around on the Quidditch pitch in those instead of like, you know, the robes that they wear in the film. Oh, no, one outside the line. But yeah, I definitely do gotta figure out a better way to stream these so that I can see the chat. And there goes the autosave, so it's kicking me out again for a little bit. Gotta find a way to remedy that as well. Don't postpone it. Go ahead. Go ahead and autosave that. I'll check out the chat. Let's see if I can. Oh, it should be saved by now. Okay. This is that point in time where the childish side of me comes out. It's just like, oh, just get to it so that I can color this. Because putting down a base layer is kind of a pain in the ass. Because it's not going to be, you know, it's going to be the average of colors, like I said earlier in the stream. So it's yeah, you want to have it there because it's going to, when you go to shade it, really help you out. But it's very tedious. Very, 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 very tedious. Something like this. I run into this with like swords and staves a lot when I draw. But you know.
Moving day means you're in for
no,
a big
no
transition.
ads. Jesus.
Online or in person, we'll focus on you. Click now to learn more.
There we go. That's better. Oh. Always lift up your pen so that you can go back. You don't have to erase an entire thing like I just did. Always lift your pen. This is another one of those things that looks really, really good when you speed it up at the end. When you put it in a video editor and hike up the speed to like 5,000 and just watch it go. But you don't get the tediousness of certain parts of art unless you do it or watch it like in real time, like this. Gonna want to go slow and steady. It's like, because like speed arts are fun. They're really, really fun to watch and do. Actually, I've found out in making them for YouTube that they're really satisfying to make, because you'll spend hours and hours and hours working on it, and you'll a lot of times have a bunch of video clips depending on how many sessions of drawing that you do. But it's very satisfying, but very if you just watch them, very unrealistic as to how art is. It's not a very quick process. I mean, it depends on what your medium of art is, because art's anywhere from visual to sound, you know. There's art in a lot of places. It's beyond art and sound. There's dance. There's, you know, so many other things, but a lot of art, especially drawing and painting, takes a long time if you're gonna do it right. You're gonna want to do it right, because, you know, it might be harder, but it's you know, you're gonna get what you want out of it in the end. And that's one thing that people do is if they're, you know, well, I won't start with that point. I'll start with a different point. I'll start with a little story. It took I've been asked before why I draw the way I do and how I do it, and there's no really great answer to that, because, like I said, art's really hard to teach, and I don't really have an answer for it. Well, I do have an answer for it, but it's a frustrating answer to a lot of people, and it's just do it. Just draw. It doesn't really matter if it's good, as long as you're doing something that you like at the beginning. And towards the middle, pushing yourself to maybe draw something you don't like, or draw something that you do like, but you're not gonna enjoy it. That's not the right word, because you should always enjoy what you're doing when you're drawing, because it's a very, very fun thing. I sit and do it for hours because I can sit and do it for hours. I'll enjoy sitting and doing it for hours, and it's not for everyone, because that's why most people don't draw, because most people don't really want to sit and do it for hours. But I was kind of one of the lucky ones that, you know, every kid when they're growing up is a bit of an artist in and of themselves, and your parents will be like, wow, you're going to be an artist one day, or your teachers or your friends. Every kid has a little bit of that. The key is just to keep doing it. Eventually, at some point, you're gonna get to a point where it's, you know, don't draw, it's for little kids, you know, kind of thing. You know, you should grow out of it. I have a funny story I was actually talking to my girlfriend about tonight at dinner, because she's gotten into coloring, and she was joking about bringing the coloring book into dinner. I was telling her about how when I was a kid, because so for context, I bring sketchbooks to dinner, and when I was a kid, I'd go to dinner sometimes with my parents and my brother, and I'd bring a sketchbook. And when you're really young, that's a little embarrassing for your kid to do, but it's also kind of cute depending on their age. And I'd bring a sketchbook in, and I would just doodle. I remember specifically not liking coloring books because I couldn't draw in them when I was like really, really young. And what do you think? My dad was like, he'll grow out of it. He'll eventually not bring his sketchbook to places. But no, I still do. Maybe less nowadays. because I set aside time for drawing, and it's kind of harder to just pop up and like do a sketch that I really would be pleased of when I have other stuff going on, like in a dinner, for example. But that's one of my examples of like just like art, if you're gonna want to do it. It takes a long time to get comfortable with your own art, and getting good at art's not the right word, because you can keep getting good but not getting what you like, if you know what I mean. Getting comfortable with your art so that you can push it in new ways is really the key. And when you do that, it's gonna take a long time. That's where I was going with it, really. I've been drawing for like my whole life. I always say I started drawing when I was 4, because that's when I can remember doing it. I did the classic little kid thing of drawing circles for your family, and draw mom, dad, brother. At least for me, that's what it was. My dad and brother. But there we go. I like how that's turned out. You can darken it, you can lighten it. Put it 25%. That's nice. So I think I'm gonna put. I'll figure out where I'm gonna put these. So yeah, drawing took me a while to. It took me a while to get to where I was comfortable with my art. You're never going to be super comfortable with it. Your art should always be evolving to where you want it to be. I'm gonna pause on this, think about it for a second. So my colors. That's alright. I'm actually not going to do this video, so is this the right color I'm looking for? Yeah, I like that color. I'm not going to do that first, actually. I'm going to do... What should I do? Skin tones? I will do skin tone. That's one interesting topic when it comes to Harry Potter. People always tend to get really weird about the skin tone stuff. And it sadly comes out of the author a lot, which is a bit of a... I don't know what it is. Like an animosity towards... I don't know, I won't get into that. I'm not going to breach that topic. But when it comes to... doing skin tones in a certain way when it's related to Harry Potter, there's a lot of, let's say, mixed opinions. That's not the right word. That's a lot of people hot and bothered. But I always imagined him with quite lighter skin, because I mean he was locked up for the first. Harry was locked up for the first, however so long in his life, like first 10 years. So I've seen a lot of fan art where people draw him to be quite darker, like quite tanner. But I never really saw him that way, because it's like, if you were going to be locked up for that long, you'd be pale. And I'm not drawing him super pale. I'm maybe drawing him a while later. I'm actually drawing them quite a bit darker than I went to, but I actually kind of like how this is going, so I'm going to keep up with that. But I usually, at least for the beginning books, imagine him quite pale. It's like he was an abused kid. He was pale, malnourished. It's very sad whenever you read it. That's another funny thing about Harry Potter. I loved it growing up, and I still do love it, obviously, because I chose that to draw. But story gets pretty dark. It's not really a kid's. Well, I mean, technically it is a kid's novel, at least the first one. But like, it gets pretty dark. You're dealing with like child abuse, murder, torture. You're dealing with a lot of scary shit, Harry Potter. Sort of lighten that shit a little bit. What I'm gonna do is there we go. So I should check up on stream. There we go. Doing pretty good. So that's one thing about art that I'll get into in digital art. Layering is, when it comes to colors at least, pretty important. And that goes beyond I'm gonna go with more of a gray first here. Yeah, maybe a little more gray blue. No, I'm not gonna go that blue. A little darker. Ooh. I'm on the wrong one now. Okay, paint layer 6. That's right. That's what I gotta want to do. Is that blacker? Yeah, that's about the right shade. So yeah, when you there's a lot of like conflicting ways about digital art that you'll find. But what I liked to do when I color is of course have all my colors on a different levels, but also to layer them purposefully, to have the first one on the top and then going down to the last one on the bottom as it was, but keep the line work on the top until you get to the shading, and then do the shading over top of that so you can kind of blend out the lines. But I don't know if that's what everybody does. That's what I do. It works out quite well for me, I think. Is this the color? Yeah, I mean, that's the color I want. So, I don't know. It's hard to work with dark colors because you don't know how much detail you're going to lose, kind of thing. And you never want to work with perfect black because there's no depth to that. And when you see an image that has black in it, it's never like perfectly black if you really piece apart the image. There's always blues or grays or maybe browns in there. So I went with a bluer thing to contrast the red because I think that's pretty neat. And I'm actually, now that I'm looking at it, really liking it, so I'm definitely keeping it. A lot of people like fill in a space just immediately. I don't really do that for two reasons. One, because it's kind of fun to do it this way. It's like it's like being a kid, being a kid and coloring in your coloring book again. But also, it gives you a little more control. Yeah, I'm sorry. It gives you a little more control about how the colors of your piece are going to turn out. Another reason why. Oh gosh. I'm gonna go myself a drink. I'll be right back. That's better. Yeah, frog in my throat for a bit there, so. And I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that, folks. Now that I look at this, I wonder why I didn't give him gloves. At least in this zoomed-in perspective, I'm thinking about gloves. But kind of too late for that now. It's been when you start a piece, don't just throw yourself right into it. Really spend some time thinking about what the specifics of your art piece is going to be, like what the character's going to be wearing, how they're going to be posed. Because it is you can have a very concrete image or a seemingly concrete image in your head for what you want to draw. But as you draw, you'll realize how non-concrete your imagination is, how very malleable it is. And you'll get to certain aspects of your characters and be like, oh no, I don't know what this, say what type of sleeves they have, or more broadly, what kind of pants they wear. You're gonna be like, oh no. Didn't really plan too perfectly ahead on that one. And that'll, it'll just make it harder to draw. And when drawing's harder, drawing is always a challenge. It's about, like, it's about getting what's in your head out there. It's really hard to do for a lot of reasons. One, because what's in your head isn't concrete, and what's on the page while you're making it isn't concrete, but once it's out there, you can technically tweak it later, but it kind of is. And so, transferring something from a medium of very concrete, very non-concrete rather, design to something that isn't to something that is. It's tough to do. It's like if you wanted to make one of Bob Ross paintings into music, you can. There's a lot of different ways people would go about it, and those ways might look drastically different, and there's no real right way to go about it. And if you don't really plan, or you don't, focus on your technique when you're doing it, you're not really going to get what you want. Everybody has a different interpretation. And that was a bad example, but the same. Plan ahead when you when you draw. Maybe not too much if it's gonna be like a fun sketch. Just kind of go for it. But a lot of people just think it's gonna be really easy to put what's in their head onto the paper, and it's really, you know, not to say that drawing is difficult. It's not really. That's people's main misconception about art. Is that it's some real hard thing that you have to study for years. No, really, you just draw. You really just draw, and it'll come to you. But yeah. So this is one of those pieces that's going to be quite difficult to shade. And I might actually have to go back and redo this layer at some point, I'm thinking. Because it's really hard to shade dark, as you can see with the lines, how they appear lighter in there. Which I think is a really cool effect. I love it. But they're a little tough to shade around the darkness. Really easy to make pop when you're highlighting. You're doing highlights, but yeah. I'm really liking how this is coming out. I'm quite happy with it. And I'm gonna skimp on doing the insides for now because they're gonna be a different color. That's how I think about the Quidditch uniforms. Because I think they're black on the outside, like the school colors. And well, in Harry's case, red because he's Gryffindor on the inside. And then all like the strappings and the buttons and whatnot are gonna be red. I don't know if it makes super good sense because realistically, the movie designs would probably be more accurate because, you know, in sports you gotta be able to really visually see, you know, who you're passing things to because it's a fast-paced thing. But I don't know, I saw it's dark, so that's gonna do it for that layer. Let's go to layer 7, and we're going to do a couple of different shades. These, which where's pants gonna be? Its pants might be this shade, yeah. Quite like this, I don't know if I've said it at all, but I've been thinking about it quite a bit. I quite like this music. It's very nice. Very, very nice. There's a song that played a couple times in this list that made me think I like that. But, oh. It always... actually, let's see how long we are going in the stream. Ooh, we're coming up on 2 hours. Yikes, I'm gonna go a little bit longer to at least get the colors done. So this might be an almost like 2.5, 3 hour stream. So I'll have at least another hour, another half hour with me, if not more. But it always just, because, oh shit, it's 2 in the morning. Wow. It always baffles me how time just zooms when you're drawing. Just freaking flies. So we have that, and on top of that, we're going to do his sashes and whatnot. So we're gonna kind of be maybe more purple, definitely darker. I think I like that contrast. Let's see how this looks. Actually, let's go up here first. Finished autosaving. Thank you, Greta. Thank you so much. There we go. I like this contrast. This is what I was looking at for reference way before from Evan Emundsen. I swear I'm butchering his name, even though he's one of my favorite artists on the planet. But I don't like that. I was looking up how he does wrappings, because I wanted to do wrappings for this. And they're just a pain in the ass. You think you get them right, and then you look at them like abstractly once you finish drawing. You're like, no, that wasn't right. What I just did. So yeah, they suck. They're tough to do to get right. But I think I like those. I think those are good. I think I really like those actually. I'm quite pleased with those coming out. Sometimes I do a piece and I'm like, eh. Like I'm doing one of my Lord of the Rings pieces right now, and it's realistically it's pretty good. Like it's one of my better pieces, because usually for most artists their recent stuff is the best stuff that they've done, because they're bringing everything that they've learned on the draw. And every time you draw something, you learn something new. So your next piece is always going to be better. Well, not always, unless you're having an off day, then it won't be. And trust me, off days come when you're drawing. As time goes on, it'll get a little better. Like you'll have some days that you can't draw, but those days will lessen as you get more skilled, as you're able to bail yourself out of certain situations with certain things that you've learned. But sometimes you just don't have a good sketch, and I'm doing one of my Lord of the Rings pieces, and it's just not coming out great. But this is a welcome change, because I'm really quite happy with it. And this probably comes from the fact that the idea for this piece has been mulling around in my head since like March. Because what actually spawned my thinking of doing it is actually when my girlfriend and I sat down and watched Harry Potter for the first time together. Which, funny thing, Harry Potter is her favorite book series, or one of her favorites, but she had never watched the movies until she met me. And a couple months ago, we sat down and we watched them, and it was really funny seeing her reaction to how certain characters look. Because that'll never get easy, going from a book that you're very certain of how certain characters look, and then seeing how someone else interprets them in like a movie setting. And that's really weird. And so that was kind of funny to watch. To watch her be like, no, that character doesn't look like that. And one character in particular was actually Professor Quirrell. She was like, I imagined him as short and fat. And he's not either of those things. Yeah, so that's a neat thing. Okay, so this is right. So this is where that color really pops in. That's what I'm really excited for. And I'll show you what I mean by the inside. Look at that. I am really quite pleased with that. So let's do some erasing up here. And get that out of there. Go right back, keep going. Ooh. Music is sufficiently chill. Perfect. Thank you. I quite hope so, because I'm grooving. I'm grooving for it. Yeah, this isn't, this is a little bit true for my speed arts, which this is gonna become, but not as true. But I definitely want the streams to be more chilled out, more like mellow, like relaxed time. Because drawing's how I wind down for a lot of stuff. And it helps with a lot of things, with school, with work. Not that I'm doing either of those things right now. I took a little bit of time off so I could plan a trip, but it's still, something that you, especially if drawing's a big part of your life, like it is for me. It's something that you definitely want to keep trying to do, even on those days where you don't want to do it. Because I'll get home from work on certain days. I used to work a labor job for a lumber company in my area, and that would wipe me out. And the pay was alright, but I would just get home and just go right to bed pretty much, because I didn't have the energy for anything. And that's kind of a shame, because nobody wants to live their life like that. A lot of people do anyways, which is very sad, but that doesn't give you any time to do your own thing, which is, why we live. At least it's why I live. It's what I believe you should live by. Not live to work, or not live for the weekend, but to live to do what you want to do. Let's get this hair quite dark. We're gonna work on his hair now. We're gonna take a break from the clothes. So that's another thing, is people have said this over and over again, but the film cast, especially as they get older, really gets further and further from looking like their counterparts. Daniel Radcliffe, the guy who plays Harry, isn't bad, but with a lot of things, it's a little tough. The hair is definitely one of them. Wrong color, wrong style, at least for the last couple of movies. And that's good to see. See, this is one of those things when you're doing your line art, it's gonna look a little weird when you're working with dark colors, because your line art's gonna end up being almost like highlights. Really weird, but I'll fix that at some point before we get to the end. Not probably the end of this stream, but the end of the piece. At least one more string, if not more. I'm right there. Okay. Okay. He does look kind of mean. There. But I think it looks pretty cool. Let's fix these boots. These boots are... I don't know what color these boots are gonna be. If I'm gonna match them to... Try and match them to here. So I'm actually gonna go up to this one. Oh. Oops. Does that look good? Yeah, that look good. Do I want to go lighter with these? I do imagine them quite dark, but I want to get that detail. Because it looks quite flat with it being that dark. These boots. Oh, I'll figure it out. Work on those metal claspers. I'm actually gonna go a little bronze with it. Too dark. Not bright enough. There we go. That's good. No, too light actually, now that I look at it. Maybe we should go darker. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should go back on that and make it a little more. Yeah, maybe I gotta go on the blue side of it. Yep, that's right. Blue. That's what I was looking for. And I'm actually gonna use this for the struts and the broom, the bindings, the little metal bindings. The amount of difficulty I was having on it, I'm actually quite pleased with the broom. Oh, it's come out. Okay. Gotta hydrate yourself. Okay, so that's actually so the firebolt I think was made out of ash wood. So I'm gonna pause this music because I'm using my phone for it. Ash wood. No, not ash wood on a map. I'm gonna look up the shade. So yeah, it's kind of like a grayish finish. Let's find us a color for that. It's quite light, so I don't want to go super dark. Is that gonna be good? Yeah, I might want to go a tad duller actually. Yeah. That looks fine. Oh. Yeah, auto saving. Finished auto saving. Alright, good. That is a pain because I can never. So here's the thing with Krita. When you have two pages open, one for drawing, one for streaming, it boots you between the pages when it's auto saving. So I'll go from drawing to being booted to the stream page, and it'll tell me, oh, auto saving's postponed because the document's busy because I'm, drawing. And then I'll have to wait another like 30 seconds for the cycle to go by and for the computer to say, alright, it's time to save again. So, yeah, it just makes it not much harder to do. But, in the end, when it comes to like the video quality, the speed up video quality, it looks really good. So, can't complain there. Well, I can, but it's a little less precedent. Okay. So that's good. That looks good. So for the bristles, layer number 14. The bristles, we're going to go a little yellower, a little lighter, a little paler. A little more golden. We're looking classic for him now. Yeah. There we go. I was a little hesitant on this specific color. I was gonna look too cliche, too like wheat-y, but yeah, it's how I imagine it. So it looks right. Sometimes you'll be drawing things from your imagination, and you'll have like a clear picture of what it is, and you'll know how it's gonna look. Then you draw it, and especially when you go for colors. Like color something and be like, what? That does not look right. Sometimes you didn't get the right color and you gotta go back, but sometimes you did. And you just gotta realize that, sometimes things just look better in your head. You gotta mess with it. This is not one of those things though. I am quite pleased with that. So, we'll go another layer. A layer deep. And let's look up. Oh yeah, I didn't even turn the music back on. So let's look up holly trees and get the music back on. Holly bushes. Hollywood wood. So holly is also quite light. There's some darker stains. Alright. Alright, let's get that music back on. Sorry about that. So Holly, as it turns out, is way lighter than I thought it was. That looks good. That. It's all too light. Yeah, it looks a little better. I kind of want to say this wand was like, they used like a stain for this wand wood. Kind of imagine them doing that. Imagine them being quite smooth. And then also, it gets, parts of the wood get quite dark, as it turns out. So I guess the bottom will probably be dark there. Yeah. Alright, so I think that looks about right. Holy cow, yeah, we're coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. So, here's what I'm gonna do. And it's also 2:30 in the morning. Didn't mean to be up this late again, but that's a screwed up schedule. I'm gonna mess with the eyes and probably call it a night. So, he's described as, I think, having emerald green eyes. So, So eyes are kind of weird. They're a lot paler than you would think they would be. This is going to be one of those things that I re-outline in this. So yeah. Alright, I guess that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, and I gotta do a fill in for the back of the eyes. Don't want to forget that, because that's gonna really screw this up. And so when I paint white on this, I don't actually use white, I use just an off-white. Use the next selector shade over. And I should also probably do the rims while I'm still at it. I think I imagine these more almost bronzy rims than anything. Yeah, that's about right. Color those rims. I should leave that for next time. Alright, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for for tonight. Let me see how that looks. Stream. Looks nice. Yeah, I think I am liking where this is going. Yeah. Let me save this bad boy. Turn off the stream and call it a night. Finish saving. Alright guys, well, thank you for tuning in again. I might be on tomorrow, I might be on after. I'll probably start streaming earlier. One, so that people will tune in and watch, because everybody and their mother is asleep right now, because, you know, that's the actual healthy, smart thing to do. But, and so that I can also do that, but also so that, yeah, you know, more of you can tune in and watch along, because if I didn't think that you guys might like this, I just wouldn't, I would just go on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be back with some more stuff tomorrow, or maybe, you know, another day as I said again. I'm tired of repeating things. I guess I gotta go to bed. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. That's gonna do it. Good night.